chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you. From national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now, here's Sabrina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, one and all. It's good to be here with you. Hoping everyone is receiving me loud and clear this evening. Welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. Yes, it's good to be back with you this evening. It almost wants to feel like a Friday in the middle of the week. What do you think? Yes, it's another episode. Well, you know, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. And for those of you just joining me, welcome, one and all. It is good to be here with you to and for another episode of Sabrina Speaks, as we dive into one of Cayman's most unique cultural moments, the day before. Yes, and that's the day before Ash Wednesday. And it's a single public holiday here that means so many different things for different people. And for some, it's sacred. It's a sacred pause, a family tradition, a community celebration, or simply well-timed mid-week reset. So on this episode this evening, my aim is to break down the true meaning and history of Ash Wednesday. Pretty much I want to see if we can explore how Cayman observed it then versus now. And definitely, the mic is for everyone who want to share their traditions, their memories, and definitely their reflections as well as a part of this episode. So I would also like to take you through a journey through rich history right here of the Cayman Islands Agricultural Show, from its roots into coming from backyard farming to the days, if you all can remember, where we used to hold these events down at what we now call the cricket field, and the community pride to the massive cultural event that this day brings. So whether you're going through or going to see the livestock, for the food, for the produce, or for people watch, I love people watching. This episode will definitely aim to celebrate what makes the Ag Show a national treasure, and it should be to a lot of people. So again, because Cayman is beautifully diverse, and that is what we are as a community, we also acknowledge this start of the Lunar New Year. Yes, because it's the year of the horse. Exploring what this symbol of energy, independence, and momentum means in a modern, multicultural Cayman. I know a lot of you saying, well, where's you going with that? We are multicultural. So whether you're listening from your office, your car, your kitchen, or even boat ramp, settle in, because this episode discussion, and definitely we want to include you as always into the conversation, is aimed at who we are, where we came from, and how we show up in moments like this. And as always, the show is powered by definitely each and every one of you. So your calls, your comments, and your stories, please are welcome. Don't shy away. Don't shy away. 936-8255 is the number to call to be a part of the discussion this evening. And the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and our participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It is not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a medical professional for your specific concerns. Bridge Media Limited and all its affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. But welcome, welcome, one and all. Is there something I'm going to double check here on the streaming because we were having some issues with the I had some apologies if there's any technical difficulties, but I am making sure that all of my links are up and running smoothly. Yep, because we want to make sure we keep it real here and that everybody is definitely seeing and hearing us as we come to you live. But it's good to be here with you this evening as we head into Ash Wednesday. I know a lot of you, some actually travel, schools are out, so you're appreciating the less in traffic on the roads, yeah? But before we go into that, I would love to keep you up to date with what's happening with the weather as you prepare for tomorrow. If you're going out to the agricultural show, whatever it is you're doing, it's just best to just know and plan ahead. So the synopsis calls for a gradual decrease in cloudiness and showers that is expected through this evening as the associated shear line over the Northwest Caribbean weakens. Now, light easterly winds and slight seas are expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as the pressure gradient remains slack over the Northwest Caribbean. Satellite imagery show patches of low-level clouds in and around the Cayman area. The forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy skies with 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s and winds will be east to northeast 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. The forecast for tomorrow calls for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. There will be a high tide at 9:43 this evening. Tomorrow, there will be a low tide at 3:43 a.m. and another high at 9:59. The sun will set this evening at 6:25 and it will rise tomorrow morning if you want to get out early to the agricultural ground to get all those plants at 6:52. Yes, 6:52 will be sunrise tomorrow morning. Now, the outlook calls for continued light winds and seas that are expected through Friday evening. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and plan your day, plan your evening, because tomorrow is a public holiday. So why not? That is your weather for this evening. And I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful Tuesday as we head into Ash Wednesday. Now, let me just catch you up on what's moving. Definitely headlines here and home around the world as well on this Tuesday. So this is your Sabrina Speaks news roundup for today. Keeping it local, the Cayman Islands Governor, Honorable Her Excellency Governor Jane Owen, joined regional and international leaders last week in Providenciales, Turks, and Caicos for the 4th Northern Caribbean Security Summit. Now, representatives from the U.S., Canada, Jamaica, the Bahamas, CARICOM, the United Nations, and the UK gathered to tackle shared threats, including irregular migration, gang violence, and illegal maritime activities. Governor Owen emphasized that through collective action, the region is making real progress in strengthening security and resilience across the Northwest Caribbean. And in other local news, There's been reports that 6 Cuban migrants were rescued at sea. That 6 Cuban men were brought to Grand Cayman yesterday after being rescued by passing vessels. Now, Customs and Border Control says that they're now being processed according to Cayman law and international obligation. Now, this comes as the government activates its mass migration committee, anticipating an increased arrivals due to worsening conditions in Cuba. We also have making local news here in the Cayman Islands that the Cayman Islands DVDL is enforcing a mandatory recall on vehicles with dangerous Takata airbags. If your car was made between 2003 and 2018, especially Honda, Toyota, Ford, BMW, Chrysler, check your VIN number now and definitely get on to your local dealer for more information. Now, these faulty airbags is reported that they can explode, and vehicles without poor proof of repair won't be licensed. So repairs to these are free. Don't wait, and definitely call your local dealer right now to see if your car is in one of these that are actually being recalled because of these faulty airbags. In other local news, a Cayman police officer is suing the government, claiming that he was sent on active duty despite medical restrictions, leading to a violent 2023 incident that left him with permanent nerve damage. Darren Kirchman says he can no longer use his right arm and is unfit for duty. The lawsuit filed on February 11th alleges negligence and breach of duty. Now, the Attorney General's office has 14 days to respond. Turning our attention to the region right now, wider region, Trinidad and Tobago makes it in their news again as Terry Lyons is being crowned the 2026 Calypso Monarch, winning with her powerful performance of Blessings. Rivaldo London placed second with Water Thicker, and Ricky J took third with Don't Spoil My Name. Lyons walks away with TT 1 million and a brand new Suzuki Vitara. Congratulations to her. In another regional news making the headlines today, the government of Jamaica has announced new measures to tackle gang violence, including expanded police powers and increased funding for community intervention programs. Now, the move comes amid recent spike in violent crimes in several parishes. Keeping our attention now to what we have to report that's definitely dominating the news. Reverend Jesse Jackson, one of the most influential civil rights leaders of the 20th century, has died today at age 84. Now, he passed away peacefully this morning in Chicago, surrounded by family. A protege of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Jackson marched on the front lines of the civil rights movement. He founded the Rainbow Push Coalition and twice ran for U.S. presidency in the 80s. He was known globally for championing racial justice, economic equality, and human rights. Now, Jackson has been battling progressive palsy and a rare neurological disorder. His family describes him as a servant leader whose voice empowered the voiceless and whose legacy will continue to inspire generations. Over into the UK government has confirmed that the state pension age will rise from 66 to 67 beginning May 6 of 2026. Now, the change will be phased in gradually and is expected to be fully implemented by 2028. This increase affects both men and women born on or after April 6, 1960, and is part of a long-term reforms under the Pensions Act 2014, aimed at ensuring that sustainability for the UK's pension system. A further rise to age 68 is already scheduled between 2044 and 2046. The UK government has not announced any changes to the current timetable of these increases, but future reviews could adjust the schedule depending on life expectancy and economic conditions. Citizens are encouraged to check with their individual pension age using the official state pension age calculator in the UK government's website. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of today's news segment of Sabrina Speaks. I hope that if you weren't aware, that you are now. And even though we're miles and miles apart, separated by bodies of water, don't care how you look at it, we're all connected some way, somehow. It is a small world after all. It is a very small world after all. Yes, welcome, 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 one and all, to all of you who are just joining us. It's good to have you with us here today. How has your Tuesday been as we head into the weekend? No, you see what I tell you? Even me is getting it mixed up as I load up our next images here to keep you informed. I want to take this opportunity, though, to just say happy birthday to everyone who celebrated birthdays today. And to Cyane Miles, Jackie Lee, and the whole family, happy belated birthday to you. How did that one miss me yesterday? But in general, happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating birthdays today, anniversaries alike. From all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks family, we want to send you best wishes and hoping and wishing you many, many more, no matter what it is that you are celebrating. Yes. So, with cake, whether you're celebrating with cakes, candles, or just company, I want to send you warm wishes, health, happiness, definitely, and years and years and years full of blessings. Hey, Marshall. Marshall's in the house. How you doing this afternoon? Damian Henry. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, all. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. Well, that's true. It's always good for a fresh start. It's true. It's true. Mom, I always used to hear, Damian, interesting that you said that if you're embarking on something and you keep hitting into resistance for some reason, you just can't get it off the ground. And every time you try it, you think you're making a step forward. It's like 50 steps back. Stop. Recalibrate. Maybe the universe is trying to show you something or tell you something, and maybe got to look at it again. So, well said. Thank you for sharing that with us. Connie Bonnie's in the house. Good evening, Jim Norris and Denny Warren Jr. That is a silent call to hear from them. Connie, you're something else, That is a silent call. That's an indirect call. Where are they? It's Tuesday. Tomorrow is a public holiday. You never can tell who to tell, Connie Bonnie. Dawn, good evening. Good evening, all, is what she's sending out to all of her people. It's good to always have you here with us. And you going to the thing tomorrow? Where are you going? What are you doing? What plans do you have, Donnie? I know you're going to be stuck because you're above where all the activity is happening. And yeah, traffic in your area tomorrow if you're here with us. But I hope it's always good to have you here. And I hope that you enjoy your Ash Wednesday, no matter what you plan on doing. Annie's in the house. How are you? Good evening to you as well. And wake up, Cayman Islands. Happy Pancake Day really? Today, Pancake Day from the UK? Oh my. Do you like pancakes? Oh, okay. But there's a day dedicated for everything. Literally, that's what it seems like. That's really what it seems like. But good to see you for the UK crew. It's good to have you here with us, definitely. Oh, there is a press release that was released for all of my BRAC crew, Kim and BRAC and Little Cayman, but more, this one is a press release that was released by our government. That's what I was doing that kind of took me off. There we go. This is a press release that went out, and I'm going to read it as it was posted so that you know it's here. You can't say you didn't hear it, for all of our people in Cayman BRAC. Cayman BRAC, temporary closure of the Cemetery Pier Scott's Dock gathering area in Cayman BRAC. Now, that is going to be closed on the 17th, from the 17th on this day. This press release was issued today. Now, and it's advising all users, the general public, boaters, divers, snorkelers, etc., of the cemetery's Pear, Scotts Dock area are advised to use an alternate gathering area and ramp on the following dates. That's Thursday, the 19th of February from 6 a.m. and Friday, the 20th of February, 3 p.m. This is to accommodate the visit of the SV Windsurf on Friday, the 20th. Now, if you want more information on that, the contact number is there for Miss Myra Ryan Ebanks, Port Authority. That's 948-0428, or Miss Shavella Burke at the District Admin Building. That's 948-2222. So for all of you over there in the back, that Scotts Dock is off limits on the 19th and the 20th. Okay. For more information, you know how it goes over there in the back. You definitely can reach out to your persons should you have any reason to have to be in that area and just can't adhere to this acts of your government. Now, yes. What Donnie is saying. Yeah, Connie, I see you. Hell no, Green Valley will be open. Have lots of citrus trees and yes, that's true. Citrus trees. Girl, I have no luck with them. You got civil orange trees? Let me know. If you even got a flyer, send it to me, Donnie. Send it. Or anything. Share it with us, what you have, and we'll be more than happy to help push it here. So that's Green Valley will be open tomorrow. What are your hours of operation? What are your hours of operation tomorrow, Dawn? Let us know so we can definitely share it here and give you all the Sabrina Speaks love that we can give you. Civil orange, you have any of those? Maybe I'll try my hand at that since I'm not lucky with anything else. But good evening, everyone. Welcome, one and all. If you're just joining us, it's good to have you here with us on this Tuesday evening as we ease on into Ash Wednesday. Tomorrow is a public holiday, so no, there will be no Sabrina Speaks tomorrow. It is a public holiday. And just a quick reminder that the gates, we celebrate agriculture here in the Cayman Islands on Ash Wednesday, and the gates open tomorrow from 7 until 6 in the evening. People were asking about the cost of tickets. Now, general admission for children is $5 and for adults is $10. But if you want to get into the raffle and you can get, a ticket, and this includes your entry fee for $25. Now, seniors 65 and older are free, but it would be wise for you to show some form of ID of your age. Yeah. But the good thing is with us here in the Cayman Islands, we know our seniors very well, but still, some of us are aging like fine wine. So you may say, you not 65, you look younger than that. Just pop out that driver's license or pop out whatever ID you're going to have on you to prove your age. Yeah. So the agriculture show goes down tomorrow at the Stacey Waltler Agricultural Pavilion in Lower Valley. That's not far at all from Green Valley. So you can see it up here in the comments. Dawn, they're open from 8 until 3 tomorrow as well on the home stretch there. So thanks for sharing that with us, Donnie. And we're going to push that. So all of you guys are coming up from town. You want to go to Green Valley, you go there and you support Green Valley. And coming down from the east, if you're stuck in traffic, just pull off the road and go check and see what she has. And then you make your way down to the agriculture show at the same time, because they're also going to be there from early, and you can expect a lot of heritage display, including exhibits of livestock, educational exhibits. You're going to be having local dance companies performing, and the agro-industrial displays. That should be interesting. And there are also lots of fun going on with the kids and activities, because they're also going to be having pony rides. There's a petting zoo that is always full of the little ones. Even the adults like to pet them as well. There'll be face painting and old time games. And there's also going to be an interactive play area as well. Now, this is something that everyone looks forward to. This paper competition, I go back many, many moons ago that I can remember this has been going on. And they're going to be having a cooking competition as well. Wonder what they're going to be cooking. This will be interesting. Fruit and vegetable carving. And there's also going to be horse shows. So lots of things jam packed here. I'm quite sure this is just a snippet of what's in store for you tomorrow at the agricultural grounds there at the Stacey Waltler Pavilion. And, we encourage you to go out and support this event, hoping it'll be as cool as it is today. And that the dust keeps down, which they've been doing all that they have to do there to prepare those grounds. So yeah, there you have it. Donnie, thank you so much. And you know what? Some of the things, I saw this today, and I'm going to just share it. Shameless plug to my friends over there at His Majesty's Prison. They do a lot of work there over at the prison. Look at this Luda board and those picnic tables. Yes, you see that? These are some of the stuff, including garbage enclosures, that will be for sale tomorrow as well. And these are the only two images. Shameless plug on His Majesty Prison. I saw this and I'm sharing it, and I'm sharing it with all of you, that these things are available for sale tomorrow. They will be on sale tomorrow. And there is the prison's wood workshop products list. So if you want, let's say you want a Luda board, they got them designed for $178. They got no design, $140, and then you even got domino tables. You got the folding ones for $180, and you can get a regular on a fixed domino table for $216. And these A-frame swing sets and swing seats, these are very sturdy. I've seen people buy them and all that sort of stuff. Bird cages, rabbit cage, there you have it. These are the price lists that you have and what will be available for you. And here's another one as well with the garbage bin enclosures. If you even want a dog house, and you got the octagon picnic tables, you have the bench with the backrest as well. So there you have it. You can go on His Majesty's Prison Facebook page and you can see more of their works and stuff. But they do very well up there. There are lots of stuff that you would be able to get as well, and other stuff that will be on display. This is just a sample of what I shared. I'm taking this directly from their Facebook page. So you can go on and check for that for yourself. Tomorrow, they will be out there on this public holiday, a cultural moment. Yes. So let's see how much we'll go there. Maybe I might bump into a few of you. Maybe, I don't know. Yes. People love us because on the hair, when you look at it, with what we can choose to do on Ash Wednesday, in the middle of the week, only hair can one holiday really mean different things for different people. And you can break that down into almost like 4 groups. Completely different things, but happening almost at the same time. Because we know for sure that there will be thousands of you who will be heading to the show, right? And others will be going to church, receiving ashes. If you are doing that, and maybe after that, then you beginning the day with the season, reflecting and reverence. And some of you may have the boat already gassed up and ready to go. And a few of you, I know you'll be home possibly doing spring cleaning like New Year's all over again. Some of you ain't going nowhere. You're going to have to be dragged out of your house. But again, that's what's so good about this place. One island, one holiday, many expressions, definitely lots of identities, and many ways of being Caymanian. So I hope that you will stick with me. You will share with me as well some of your experiences and some of your memories. And as we go into really what is Ash Wednesday, the history of our agricultural show, the evolution of our midweek holiday culture, and how Cayman has shifted from then to here we are now. And because we are a diverse community, we're always acknowledging something else happening today. We want to take and look at the fact that today is the Lunar New Year and it's the year of the horse. Yes, Cayman, we're global. And like I said at the intro, we're multicultural and we're going to talk about it, even if it's just for a little bit, in case some of you didn't even know that today, what today marks. Yeah. So I see where Wake Up Cayman is saying some still have to work. Yeah, it all depends on the industry. Some still have to work. And we understand that. But for the most part, it's that goes to show you exactly, Wake Up, what I'm telling you, from then versus now, how things have changed. And service-based community that we are, that continues to pretty much change. It all depends on the industry. We know our frontline services or emergency services, that sort of stuff. It's the supermarkets and all that sort will be open. And then you have so much going on. For some, it's not even a holiday, even though the banks are closed and government businesses are closed. It's almost like a regular day. But you know what? Let's get into the basics. And of course, like I said, at any time during the show, I invite you to send me your messages, call me, join in live and share with us. 345-936-8255 is the number to call. But let's start with the basics. I always go here on Ash Wednesday. What is Ash Wednesday? And not preaching, no pressure, just facts for those of you who just sees it as a holiday. And some of you may know that, and some may not, that Ash Wednesday really marks the beginning of Lent. Yes. And that, my friends, and for the younger ones who probably don't even understand it, that is a 40-day period of reflection leading up to Easter. And in many Christian traditions, the ash in itself, you will probably see persons, especially more so, and I stand to be corrected, the Catholic faith. The ash is placed on the forehead. Yeah, some may say, well, where does that come from? That actually comes from an ancient practice of using ashes as a symbol of humility and mortality. And really, it is a reminder that life is fragile and time is precious. You know, I have heard Eric saying, something was I was saying about what we could do, because it slipped me, to be honest, whether or not we could light up the grill. Oh, he gave me a side eye. Nope, no meat, 40 days. That's the start of Lent. I said, okay, I am so happy to hear that you remembered that. So what are you breaking? Are you going to do this purge for 40 days where you don't eat anything with blood? It'll be interesting whether or not you do it. I know some people actually do. And, you know, for different denominations, they observe it differently. Like I mentioned, the Catholics, the Anglican, the Methodists, even some Baptists. But not everyone participates. And that's okay too. Again, we have a diverse community. Cayman has always been a place of faith, though, and faith is respected, but not forced, okay? Some are actually beginning to say we need to get back to those old traditions and stand up for something right, because we're seeing certain things going on that it's not born on the principles that we're used to, and definitely doesn't align with what our Constitution says. And no, it's slowly but surely slipping away. But at the end of the day, we have always, from the beginning of time, the Cayman Islands has always been a place where faith is respected, but not forced. So it would be nice to hear from you. What does Ash Wednesday mean in your home? Is it a spiritual day to you? Is it a cultural day, or is it just a day off? You know, because at the end of the day, it could mean many things to many people. I'm seeing a lot of advertisements saying this is going on here, a boat cruise there, yada, yada, yada. You know, what does it really mean for you? For me, it goes back to my childhood where being raised up into a Seventh-day Adventist home, we didn't go to church, but we supported the agricultural show because of it being those days down at that white, where you call the cricket field now, that was transformed. And that's what it was for me. Now, the day of Lent and going into Easter, it's only that I've become an adult now that I'm seeing all of that and I've educated myself. But understanding, like what I said, it all depends on different denominations and what you subscribe to and what your household exposed you to. So it doesn't make me wrong, doesn't make them right, or vice versa. It all depends on your surrounding and your faith. But one thing for certain is that we are not a society that forces anything down people's throat. Hey, Tartarian, how you doing? Welcome to this episode of Sabrina Speaks. Easy for me. I don't eat meat, really, because they used to butcher beef in our yard. That turned me off. Tartarian. I guess me and you are like quite similar. Mm-hmm. It wasn't because of what I was exposed to. I just can't tolerate it. And even as a child, now I know I have somebody out there who may join in and says, we weren't designed for that. You see your teeth. I have plenty of friends that actually tell me that. But I just can't tolerate it. I just can't talk. And even as a child, and I was speaking to my aunt last night, I visited her, my cousin, as a child, and they repeated it. You never really fooled with meat as a child. Nope. And that's from growing up. But I did witness, again, Mr. Whitmore Sims raising up around him, and he used to slaughter cows. I was surrounded by family who slaughtered cows. My grandfather raised a cow. He had him called Billy. He was more pet, and everyone in the family cried when he did that whole thing of killing him for Christmas. The thing is, nobody could eat him. Well, I know that was fine for me because it was like you were slaughtering your pet. But yeah. It's hard for me to do, but I wouldn't tell you that I'm a vegetarian because there are times that I have to do a little bit, just a taste, but it's predominantly I'm plant-based. Predominantly I am plant-based, fish here and there, but the beef and the chicken and and all the turtle meat you guys can have. All the turtle meat you guys can have. It's possibly my upbringing, but bottom line is I just don't tolerate it well. That's a little tidbit for me. So Tartarian, yep. But your case is because they used to butcher beef in our yard and that turned you off. Oh my gosh, I can imagine. Ugh. To this day, when I go to the Bracknell, and just before you make the big corner there by No Weed, No Vote, a liquor store right there, Black's Corner, I think we used to call it. They, not far from there, they actually still slaughter. And if I'm going up and you make that corner there and you see the cow, all depends on what day you go up. And then you, like the next day, there's no cow. But then you're seeing them, people are there for their fresh beef. And my heart always melts when I see them before they're slaughtered because yeah, it is what it is. But hey, to each his own, eh? But thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing that. But the phone lines are open. Yes, please feel free to WhatsApp and let's talk it through. It'll be interesting to hear for you what it means for you. But now, how you used to observe Ash Wednesday back in the day. Let's going back in history. I shared a little bit with you in trying to reminisce. I couldn't, for some reason, find a lot of pictures of what we had as the pavilion back in the day. I personally couldn't find any of those pictures to let those who may not have any memory whatsoever, because you were probably not born where agriculture ground used to be. And it based on how old you are right now, some people will say, oh, it's the cricket oval. And some people will still refer to out there as the old agricultural grounds. And that's what I recall growing up as a child. But back in the day, it was, way back, it was a real quiet island. And of course, stores were closed. music pretty much were off, and families cook simple meals. And from what some seniors have told me, they even visited elders. And it was almost, they described it as a day of stillness, a day of reverence, a day that where the whole island seemed to breathe and sink. This is what some seniors have shared with me. And when you fast forward that to today, and Cayman looking so different by all means, we are multicultural. We're busier, definitely we're louder. And some still, even though some will still go to church, some have chosen now to forget all of that and they go to the beach. Some go out on a boat cruise, big time parties. Some actually decide to go away because we know Carnival is alive in the region. Oh my gosh. It's like every platform you can see, it's one just there. And that's 7 days a week from what I can see. And some just decide to sleep in. Yeah. Others have chosen to just take it as a day of rest, organizing, cleaning, and catching up on life on itself, right? Yeah. So here's a question. Has Cayman lost its reverence then because of changing times? Have we lost our reverence for this, for holy days in general? We talked about opening on Sundays. We saw how much the traffic has increased for that. Or is it a case that the Cayman Islands now we are simply expressing it differently in a modern world? Yeah, I said the word again. We talked about it, modernizing legislation, bringing legislation up to times. But are we simply expressing these times and these days in a modern world? Again, what is it? What is it? We need more neighbors. Oh, Lord. Please, I hope I'm not reading this wrong, but please correct that, if anything. Cayman Islands have too many. And reaping, what is that? Okay, I'm going to watch this one. Otherwise, you will disappear without warning. Okay. So I like to include y'all, but we got to keep it respectful. And I hope that you can actually just keep it focused when you force yourself on someone. Where does that fit in with the conversation? That I'm trying to see how this aligns with the topic at hand, with how it's fitting in how our society is changing in general. So, yeah. So here's a question. We're evolving. Are we evolving and not losing? Now, people can say that at the end of the day, we're losing ourselves. And others will say they think we're evolving and we can't live in the past. And we still have our roots. Just more branches now is what they're saying. It all depends on how you look at it. And others may say, you know, it's just a change of time. Suck it up. You can't live in the past. It all depends on your age group. And I got one message coming in. Thank you. Sabrina, Cayman can modernize without forgetting who we are. It's not either or, it's both. Yeah, I agree with all balance. And at the end of the day, we need to make sure that all sides are pretty much respected when we do that. Because like what was said earlier on, people say Cayman is losing itself, but others look at it, are we evolving? And with that, people may feel that they're left out, left behind. Some of our true values and traditions are then kicked aside. It's diluted down, you see? So Here's another one. I worry sometimes that the younger generation doesn't know our history. Shows like this help keep it alive. Well, I'm hoping that I'm doing that, to be honest. I'm really, really hoping that I'm doing that in reminiscing. But sometimes at the end of the day, it's as though we are trying to find the right language to actually involve and keep relevant for our young people so that they would understand where we're coming from. Because a lot of them do not understand the history, do not understand where we're coming from, what used to be, so that they can see when our older persons who are well connected, love our country, sees it changing and make certain statements that they're not saying, oh, that's just an older person. They don't want to get caught up at the times. How are you going to understand the pain that the older persons or seniors are saying if you're not aware, if it wasn't taught to you, if you're not seeing it? That is one of the big takeaways that I have been observing as I watch carnivals and cultures being displayed as through the Caribbean, even though it's carnival. And I look at, despite them having their challenges, despite the regional temperature that we're not so comfortable with, what is on display is national pride, togetherness, even though I swear the people don't sleep. What I see at the forefront is national pride and culture and talent that is beyond. I mean, it actually, you can feel it and you're not there in person. You can feel it and you're not there in person. And even though we do certain things here, I don't know if we're taking certain things for granted. I am not actually saying we should be like this one, that one. No, I am merely giving an example of what I am witnessing. Remember, we're voices of the islands, conversations for the world. Hence, I actually provide updates and regional news, which means I am on every news platform you could think of in the Caribbean, regional and international. And because of that, a lot of the things are popping up and I just subscribe to them and I follow them. And I'm like, wow, it is amazing. Like the 2026 winner in Trinidad, I saw that Terry Lynn's performance. And let me tell you, I was alone watching it because everybody had gone about their business. And she got a standing ovation in the grandstand, and there was another set of bleachers stand that was there. She got a standing ovation. And let me tell you, at the very end, I'm watching it from the comforts of my living room here in the Cayman Islands, and I got goosebumps. I literally stood. I applaud her for the way she delivered. For me, she closed it down. I congratulate all of the other performers, but let me tell you something. You got to find that. I challenge you to go and look for that performance. And you're seeing just reels now, short clips of it, but it was something to experience. And for the record, I've never been to Trinidad. I've never been to the Eastern Caribbean. I do have plans on going, but let me tell you something. Kudos to her. And that is what I've seen, that we here, it's either that we're taking it for granted, or is it something that we're so influenced by our neighbors in the United States that we really, really have lost or losing who we are. But I feel we still have it in us. It is the influence and getting that pride being built, being showcased of who we are. And I know that the ministry is trying, but that, my friends, is going to take all of us who call Cayman home. And the foundation of that will be determined for all who remain, what have been captured, so that we actually wear that, showcase that, highlight that with pride, so that those who are growing up, it becomes almost like a recital and they're proud of who we are. Yeah. So at the end of the day, where we are, where we're coming from, where we're going, determines on how much we think of ourselves, and that pride that we have. And I don't feel it's lost at all. For 1 minute, I do not feel it's lost. It is still there, that we can actually save it. Jim, welcome. Where have you been? Late to class? Oh, busy all day. Hope physio and everything is working out well for you. Yep. Maybe other people's children. Jim, yep. Tartarian says, just like Christmas, the world has lost its meaning. Commercialization has stripped the heart out of everything. Remove the noise, remove the hype, and people might finally remember what truly matters. Tartarian, so profound and so true. You are quite right. Because when we look at Ash Wednesday for what it is, and without judgment, no right or wrong answers, at the end of the day, a lot of people have told me in brief conversations, because I was planning for today, how are we going to do this? That it is a reset day for them. Yeah. Some are actually, you're not going to break it out of them. They're deeply spiritual. And this is a moment to show them so that they can slow down and reflect and start Lent with intention. Some people look forward of this day, this time, to actually begin Lent. And others say it's cultural. Many of them say that they grow up going to church with their parents and they still keep the tradition alive today. No, they admit they're not as forceful as saying to their children, come on, you have to do this, you have to do that, because their style of parenting is different. But then there are others who admit honestly, it's just a day to catch up, to go out on the boat, to do whatever they want if they're not working, if they're not in the industry that requires them to work. So at the end of the day, I got another WhatsApp here. Sabrina, for me, Ash Wednesday is still a holy day. I go to church, I get my ashes, and I spend the rest of the day quiet. Cayman's moving fast, but some things are still sacred. Thank you for sharing that. And I mean, I appreciate all of the messages that are coming in, and you feel free, 936-8255. If you don't want to call in or post on there, you can send me a WhatsApp there and I'll definitely read it. Another one says, hey, Sabrina, I don't go to church, but Ash Wednesday is my day of rest. I clean, I journal, I breathe. It's the only day I feel the island slow down, even though on the exterior, it is and continues to move on as we continue to evolve and our population grows. That's true, but it doesn't have to change within your confines is what I take away from this. Thank you so much for that. This other WhatsApp says, I'm not a Christian, but I respect the day. I use it for rest and reconnect. Cayman is multicultural now, and we all honor the day in our own way. So rightly said. Yes. So there you have it. At least we're getting some feedbacks as to how persons are looking for this. Yes, Jim, it's always good, better late than not showing up at all. And we appreciate you, even the latecomers to class. Damian Henry says, modern day Ash Wednesday is no different to Sunday service. Cultural shift. Yes, it's true. Pursuit. Mental sphere of Venezuela incident. That's a total different show. Sorry. Not today, but thank you for the suggestion. Andrew, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Miss Rose is in the house. How are you? Darlene, hi, how are you? One does not need to go to church to love God. You're quite right. We're not telling people to go to church at all. It's people's choices. But yeah, it's true. You are quite right. Thank you for sharing that opinion. Andrew said traditional values have been lost. But why? Why is it, Andrew? Why is it being lost? And should it continue to go down that path? It is interesting because even though that is the feeling, are we getting tired? Are we getting exhausted? Or are we feeling that we're competing with so much other things that before you realize it, it slips through your hands? Yeah. Yeah. So I feel that some Caymanians feel that the islands has shifted, that holy days used to be quieter in general. It used to be more reverent, more community centered, but others say Caymanian hasn't lost a thing, anything. It's simply diversified, which is what we're saying. And people honor the day in ways that their own personal liking, their own personal background, their own faith, and their lifestyle. But what hasn't changed is the respect. And even those who don't attend church still treat Ash Wednesday as a meaningful purpose, even if they're not shouting it from the mountaintops. What I found, Andrew, I think people have become more reserved because we see where the space and social media can take things. A lot of people, I feel, are fearful and they're more protected of themselves, their feelings. And as we become more involved in public spaces like this, that is so easy, we're also finding a lot more people retreating. They're less inclined to be vocal about certain things. And even if you speak to them on certain matters, because I realized that even preparing for today's show, they were more than happy. Some were more than happy to share in a private setting. And then you'll get, we competing with all of this thing online and we're not into each other's faces anymore. We don't see people. But yet these are not the individuals that will call in. And they have so much to share. And because you get love, you get hate, and because you're either not on one side or the other based on your religion, your faith, what you believe in, then it's almost like you lose respect for somebody else's opinion. And that was the general takeaway of the conversation. And that mostly came from some of our senior persons. And then you have those who are like, I go in on the DL. Look, we watch you all the time, but you ain't gonna get me commenting for a number of reasons. Where I work, what people could say. And even if I get something wrong, it's like the whole world is coming down on you. So that in itself is the way of shifting. That in itself is a way of shifting. And we're getting more people that have decided then to just remain silent. That is why even sharing stories and examples like this, I applaud all of you for sending me your WhatsApp, for definitely commenting here on whatever platform you're streaming me from. I appreciate it. And maybe the conversations for some are just not interesting enough because I'm not going into certain topics to highlight certain things at a different standard. I don't know, but there's a space for everyone. And if we're going to move forward and uplift and encourage and become a more informed society, you have your choices to make. You have your decisions to make. And this is why I constantly say all perspectives are welcome as long as you do it in a respectful manner here. So at the end of the day, this tradition as we know it, here as Ash Wednesday. Even if you grow up with that being the primary focus of attending the agricultural show, that now that you're your own adult, you decide to just go and do a boat cruise, you throw a party. That's totally up to you. Because this here in the Cayman Islands goes back to the 1960s. And for what history has in place and what I recall, and other jurisdictions in the region celebrate it too as a huge event. But for here, this is a celebration of our local farming. We're seeing a lot more people are getting into it right now. We're seeing even where our government is putting money into farming, livestock, and it all boils down to sustainability and self-sufficiency as a jurisdiction. And definitely we can do our own within our homes. So bringing us up to speed, the Cayman Islands was not always a financial center. No, we eventually got there. We were people, and this was shared with me again, who grew up knowing what we ate, raised, and what we needed, and we depended on each other. We depended on the community. And the agricultural show, yes, was and still is a reminder of exactly where we're coming from. Even though seasons change, we know we should be a little bit bigger in the field. Maybe we could have invested a little bit more earlier. The whole purpose of that event is to showcase the best produce and the strongest livestock here. And we see those farmers, how proud they are when they're awarded with when the gifts and when the prizes are actually announced. Now, from the skill of our farmers here, understanding that our environment is not one of the easiest in the Caribbean. We have soil that differs from various parts of the island. We have a very high salt content. We're low lying. And the mere fact that how we are geologically created by God, we're flat. So that comes with its own set of challenges, being exposed and as a small island to high salt air content. But still, for those farmers who stick it out, who are doing very well, the introduction of other types of farming as well is making its way here. We see the different pride from district to district, and this is an opportunity to showcase that pride at this annual event. And we see where families go out to these events, we catch up because this is like the first big gathering after the Christmas holidays. And you know what? Children get a sense of respect and understanding of where food comes from and how it is, as much as you may not want to believe this, it is a cultural anchor here. So I'm hoping that, we can see exactly and understand and have a little bit more respect from where we're coming from with this. And that should you choose to go to the event tomorrow, that you will see it under a fresh set of lens, understanding how challenging it is, in fact, to be a farmer here. Yeah. Andrew said, sadly, Sabrina, we were more a close-knit community 50 years ago who cared about our neighbors and each other. We helped each other and we were more reverent to God and upheld our Christian morals. Big difference today. Yes, Andrew, we have seen that change. And I wonder, Andrew, if it is because of the more relaxed way of parenting, or has it been influenced by other things within our society? And again, I'm not going to blame everything on social media. I'm not going to, people change. People change. How I was raised and how I raised my children, when I look back at myself, do self-reflection, I would say I was not as stern with my children as my parents were with me. I'm just blessed that my two boys have grown up to be adults, and thank you, Jesus, no problems. Maybe not others have the same story. But I would still say, based on the rigidness of how I was raised, my style was different. Was it because of what I was exposed to in my style of parenting? We all know there is no blue book for that. But it would be interesting to see exactly what are the root causes of society, competition, survival, when you look even at a jurisdiction in itself, in order to keep money flowing, the impacts that has on the big difference, as you've alluded to what we have become today. It's a matter of just keeping competitive, because now we're not only competing with our brothers and sisters locally on the ground. Overall, everybody is competing globally. We're competing with the world, literally. And maybe that too has had its own impact, and positive in some way and negative influences on exactly some of the decisions that were being made, some of the choices that our young men and women of our future are actually, how they view life, how they see life. And more so, they have a lot more resources at their fingertips than we do in order to properly educate themselves. Some of them, they divert and go on different paths that is totally separate from their upbringing. So yeah, there are a number of factors that will influence that, Andrew, but thank you for sharing that. Denver says Minister J.E. Banks is taking agriculture to another level. Well, yes, I must say that it has definitely evolved and continue to evolve. So let's see exactly how he's going to elevate it even more tomorrow. Influenced by imported immigrants. That is the change. Influenced by imported immigrants. But can we live without them, Denver? Come on now, let's be real. Can you live without them? I got 2 more messages here. Sabrina, the Ag Show is my childhood. The smells of fritters, the goats, the district booths is one. It is the one event that still feels like old Cayman. Oh, how nice. Yeah. Like I said, I wish I could have found some pictures with the old agricultural show, how they used to convert by the cricket field. And I remember that wooden structure up there used to go up, and that's where everybody the mic used to be up there. And after a certain time of the day, that was converted to like the dining area, and all the planes were flying across and stuff. But we realized why it had to move, because it became a risk because of the low flying aircrafts, balloons, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with me. Another one came in. I go for the food. Let me be honest, Sabrina, I only going for the cassava cake and the turtle stew, despite you don't eat it more for me. That's my tradition. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Got another one. I love the Ag Show, but I can't manage the traffic anymore. I support the farmers all year, though. Good for you. But oh, look, let me just tell you, remember they have a park and ride. They have some shuttle service that is going to actually be moving up and down. So yes, we admit that there's a lot of traffic, which is why they're asking people to park at certain location and just use the hop on, hop off ride service. Now, I think I was listening to Sandra's conversation this morning, and someone was asking whether or not let's say they use the ride drop service, the jump on, drop off, whatever, whether or not that would be able to carry their plants if they choose the plants. I guess you would have to arrange that now differently, or it's a case maybe they may have, I don't know, a designated lane at some point in the time where you would be able to go for your own vehicle and maybe pick them up. I don't know. But I'm quite sure she will post any of that information. If it's anybody from the ministry that is listening to this, can you get some PR out that if somebody chooses to use the shuttle system and they are purchasing plants, how would that work? Would this ride share be able to take them back to their vehicles when they're ready to go with all of what they purchase if it comes with plants. So anyone from the ministry and their comms department, please, if you haven't already got that information out there, these are questions that are coming in. So please put some PR on that, or maybe do some stuff that we can share so people will know. Yes, another one, Kima got two more. Every year I take my kids. They need to know Cayman wasn't always skyscrapers and roundabouts. The Ag Show teaches them where food comes from. Congratulations to you. It's a family day for me. Congratulations for you. And this other one just came in. Farmers deserve more recognition. Sabrina, the farmers are the real stars. They work hard all year, and tomorrow is their moment. We need to appreciate them more. Congratulations to them. Yes, 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 I must say. So thank you for sharing those. And by all means, you can keep them coming in. Tartarian says here on YouTube that the pressure rests on the shoulders of Caymanians. We are the ones who must protect their environment, our livelihoods, and our culture. Guests only simply need to work. Thank you for that thing. And Tartarian also said, that's why some of us will need time out physically and mentally. Yeah, but it's changing fast. I could be honest with you. It is changing, but how we keep up? Yeah, how do we keep up? Connie says, I asked that question. I live off a Hearst Road, very close to the new road. Oh, okay, it was you. Well, I'm hoping that they actually, Jim is asking for a kaboom, not to your thing, but it was something that I said. Kaboom! That's loud. Connie says, yeah, I'm hoping that the powers that be will actually put some PR out in regards to that. I haven't seen anything pop up, but keep looking on the CMR TV platform, and I'm quite sure if once they have it out there, we will definitely share it with you and cross share it as well. Tartarian says, I remember at the cricket field that one year a bull got away and chased me. He said, it ran in my direction, was terrified. I will never forget that. Oh my God. Oh, what an experience that must have been. Oh my goodness. But those were the good old days. I must say, I liked it. Even though we have grown, there is no way now that you could even think of having anything like that. Or forget it. Because again, we didn't know the risk, or we knew the risk, and that's why they changed it, of the low flying aircrafts there. But oh gosh, I can see it right now with the cotton candies, the cement floor, similar to what it is up there at the Stacey Waltler Pavilion. But the how all of the vendors used to be under, and the people speaking up top. And of course, the whole feel there would be like with different booths and stuff. It was something. It was something. Oh, look how times have changed. Andrew said, social media and cell phones have changed us. Do people do Sunday dinners? Do people do Sunday dinners today after church without having cell phones and talk to each other about what transpired in the week? Boy, I don't know. I know if you go to even brunch or you come together, everybody's on their phone. Like I was giving you all the joke the other day with my aunt. She's so now into Instagram, you can barely have a conversation with her, Andrew. She's down in this Instagram and she's doing this and she's doing that. And I was like, what the hell? I need your attention here. I come here to spend time with you. At least talk to me. And but yeah, I must say it's different. It's hard to just keep away. It seems we're addicted. But I know that I'm proud of her as well for embracing it. But are they getting too much? It's almost like you want to tell them too much screen time, like you want to be the parent. Oh boy, she could cuss me, Andrew. Oh, she could cuss me. Jim says, many have no idea how hard the farmers work and all that farmers face due to the Caribbean elements, weather, bugs, not enough rainfall, or too much all at once. Yeah, Jim, is true. I don't think we give them enough credit, which is why this one will say farmers deserve more recognition. They work hard all year and tomorrow is their moment. We need to appreciate them more. Yes, it's true. It's true. So, like I said, hats off to them. Hats off to them. And especially if they have crops based on whatever it is they're farming and they continue to be at it. Good for them. Denver says, we can't live and continue to move forward without imported immigrants. However, it's up to the individuals and parents of kids to live their roots and not pick up bad habits from other cultures to a great extent. Yeah, it's true. And then what happened, Denver, when they go off and they're exposed? But I agree. Once you instilled who we are in them from youth, what is saying go? Train up a child in the way he should grow, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. That is what I think is the foundation, because no matter what, where you go, what you're exposed to, and all of that, at the end of the day, what is in you is in you. Yes. Live happy. They also held Family Fair Day. Yes, Family Fair Day there. Somebody, I was remembering that. And remember, at the end of the day, Live Happy, it was moved then where Courthouse now has all fenced off in between Courthouse and then Scotiabank. Comart used to be across the road. By right used to be on the other side. Oh my God, I'm timelining myself. But anyhow, Family Fair Day used to pretty much take over town. And yeah, I can remember it once being up there. That's my age. But I recall Family Fair Day being in town. And then all of a sudden that just fade out. I think we need to bring that back here. Family Fair Day. And that used to be another big day that people used to look forward to. And Georgetown lit up. It was a public holiday. I don't remember exactly what holiday it was, though. I do remember what day it was. Someone, if you remember when Family Fair Day used to be held here in Cayman. But I remember that, having raised up right there on Elgin Avenue, all the happenings. I used to walk to the cricket field now for agriculture, them days. And before the roundabout, CNB roundabout used to be, there used to be a footpath up by Racket Club. I know that very well. And, but, oh God, muck. Do make it rain. Do make it rain. You would be out of sight and muck. Those are the days, though. Wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world. Jim says, you have to love the earth and enjoy watching what you sow, your seed or plant grow. It's not a matter of getting rich, but the love of the land fills one's heart in ways many cannot imagine. You're so right. Jim, I didn't know I was a green thumb until I now find myself with a little time on my hands. And it's amazing the pride that beams from me when I now go outside and I planted some seasoned pepper seeds that I got from the Christmas. And I plant out a few. And oh my God, if you see how pretty they are. And Jim, they're looking good. So yes, I enjoy watching it. And mind you, afraid of frogs now. Oh God, afraid of them. But where I have them, it's inside. It's an enclosed screened-in area. So they're not exposed too much to the elements. And the chances of frogs getting in there is slim to none. But I really must say there's a calming feeling when I go out to water them and I look at them grow, and to know it was just one little seed that I scraped out. And because I wanted to try and catch them so I wouldn't have to go through this thing, because seasoned peppers are such a big commodity during the holidays. I says, well, if I grow a few trees, I won't have to be bothering people in the back or asking this one or that one. Maybe I'd have enough for my peppers this Christmas, God spare life. So yeah, I do. I get what you're saying here, Jim, and it is a good feeling. To me, it's relaxing. But I did not know that I had a green thumb. I did not know. I'm just finding that out recently, and it does bring me some kind of calm when every now and again, life throws you curveballs, and yeah, it does bring me to a different place, even if it's for a little time. I do enjoy it. I find it rather relaxing until I see something crawl. And then I know how quickly I can move. It still says, yeah, I got youth in me. Mhm. Denver says, so true, Andrew. However, parents doing it and kids likewise, discipline is needed. Mhm. Jim further says, I may have gone a different direction with my career, but I went to school for horticulture. Really? Oh, wow. That must have been interesting. And when you see where horticulture is going nowadays, with even planting in containers and different stuff, wow, it's amazing what you that's would have never heard or that would have never seen that. Horticulture, interesting. Aha. Connie, we're learning a lot about him today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for some, this midweek holiday may hit different. Because people say a midweek, like this is just turn off their whole week. Does it really confuse you any? Or it's just another day for you? Some I know are working. It is what it is. But it feels like a pressure valve relief. People says we're aiming for a 4-day work week. People are more calling for this 4-day work week. It's a break from the routine, some people say. It gives you permission to pause. Yeah. I got another thing. Oh, that was quick. Sabrina, this midweek holiday saving my life. I tired. I just need 1 day to breathe. There you go. There you go. I'm not surprised with this one. Listen to this one. Another WhatsApp is coming. We're heading out on the boat tomorrow. No loud music though. Just family time and the sea breeze. Be careful out there because I know it's pretty cool out. Yeah, but yeah, good for you guys in the boating crew. Yeah. Here's one who decides they're not going out. Ash Wednesday is my cleaning day. I scrubbed down the whole house, and I'm reading it just as it's coming because I know who's sending it. Right? It's tradition. So this one is going to be doing spring cleaning. Yep. Oh, and there's always one. Let me grab this one. There's always one. I'm doing nothing and proud. Sabrina, I'm working hard all year. And tomorrow, I staying in my bed. And I not ashamed. There you go. There you go. Don't be ashamed of that, my love. Do not be ashamed of that one bit. You do whatever makes you happy. Live Happy says, Family Fair Day was such a happy time. Yes, they used to play music, brown girl in the ring, tra la 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 la. Good old days, happy times when Cayman was Cayman, and we can bring them back. Live Happy. Live Happy, I am not giving up on that. I really feel they can come back. I really, really do feel that they can come back. Because I'm quite sure that's nostalgic. That for those who raised up, especially them towners, will know exactly what you're talking about. And you don't even hear those songs anymore. They look at you like, what that is? Yeah. And you get that look because it ended. It ended because days like this stopped. And you don't hear those things. You can introduce modern day stuff as well. I agree. But keep what is foundation. And just at the end of the day, introduce the new stuff so that you have a balance. But never forget from whence we came. Thank you for sharing that. That's true. That's true. Jim says, most people's mistake is either they're over water or underwater their plants. Yes, that's giving them too much love. Planting is like kids. You have to water, feed, and nurture them. Do you talk to them? Do you talk to them? I know for a thing, I got, I saw this, thank God for little Pinterest and YouTube. I got a little microfiber glove. I got a cloth, and I actually take the dust off the petals because that actually assists in photosynthesis. And I didn't realize, even though, you do it more with artificial plants, the importance of doing that with real plants, I was blown over. And yes, I do see a little difference in them. And when you see a new flower trying to bud, like a peace lily and stuff like that, I'm like, wow, yeah, you are treating them with love. And then, you have some that you overwater them and they drown. Yeah, you learn. I do the trick though with the kebab stick. You stick the thing down in it and the skewer, and then you see if it's wooden, you see if it comes out really moist and if the soil sticks on it. And I usually put it on my hand to see if it's cold to know whether or not it needs water. Because of course, indoor, outdoor, based on the temperature and time, that's a lot. So these are all things that I've learned in these couple of days that I've started, to be honest. And it's amazing. I am getting positive feedback from the plants, but I never tell you not to talk to them. No, I feel crazy. But I do, like when I see certain things, I guess that's a way of talking to them. When I see them flourishing, I'm like, wow, I'm so proud of you. So that is talking. Oh, what a mess. Am I getting old? Yeah, my orchids keep my blood pressure down outside every evening. Yeah, Connie, you told me you love orchids. Yep, go, Jim. See, Connie's proud of Jimbo. Live Happy says, of course we can survive without immigration. Survival is survival. It would simply be a different kind of living. Oh, you mean immigrants? Of course we could survive without immigrants. Survival is survival. It would simply be a different kind of living. But with all the investors right now, where we are, Live Happy, I'm going to just throw this question out there. You really think we've reached that point right now that you could say, just stop? Because I'm quite sure there are investors that are investing with no today plans, but something that could possibly come to fruition 3 to 5 years down the line, or maybe even longer. Do you think this country is at that position right now where we could do that right now with possible investments and long-term plans of even our own locals that will aim to benefit or are part of these plans moving forward? Do you feel that there are persons in our society right now that are no longer, based on the type of industry that they're in, the type of business that they're in, where we are now, that their plans unknown to us, like what we see in the bill that I went through yesterday, you think they're planning that for tomorrow, for next week? They're planning that for way in advance. So I see what you're saying, Live Happy. Of course, we can survive without, I guess this means immigrants. Survival is survival. It would simply be a different kind of living. That would be only if everyone is subscribing to that. Would be interesting though. My orchids keep my blood pressure. Oh, in the evening. Oh, yeah. Live Happy. In small communities, people wear many hats. You become a teacher, the lawyer, the cook, the police officer. That's true. But are we still wired that way, Live Happy? You think all of us are still wired that way? Or things and times and individuals have changed? Live Happy says, Caymanians are not helpless. Stop acting helpless. What did you go to school for? Yeah, it's true. Looks as though that is actually being diluted down in many ways. I don't know if it's because it's the ease, if some of us, you must admit though, to a degree, Live Happy, please, I'd like your opinion on this, that in comparison to some other jurisdictions neighboring, would you say that for the most part, Caymanians' way of life has always been totally different at a higher standard than even maybe our brothers and sisters regionally? Would you say we still come in as being more fortunate than other jurisdictions? That I can't say that I was exposed to slavery. I can't say that I was exposed to certain levels of lifestyle because I just wasn't. I'm not going to create. Yet I will tell you, I came from humble beginnings. I know what an outside toilet is, but I was never born in that situation where that was what I had to use. So it would be interesting looking at it overall and based on age as well. Would you really say, looking at where we're coming from as the Cayman Islands and where we are today, would you say that in comparison to some other jurisdictions, that overall we had life really, really hard? It would be interesting. I'd like to get your feedback on that. Laugh out loud. I talked to my plants. Good for you, Connie. What a mess to you the day that they respond back to you. Talk back. Denver says, I hear an old song or two sometimes on Radio Cayman. I wonder why Radio Cayman is not playing more and our local music. This is part of losing our culture. They say they should be made to play our local music, adding in some of our great Caribbean music and not some of the so-called music I hear sometimes. They do have a choice. I think even now some of the artists, that each station have a local segment. Maybe they're not playing some of the older local musicians and they're more playing the new local music that is coming out Denver. But each station, I think that is a part of their life, that that they should be actually playing local music and local music should be presented, and they actually will have it highlighted that that's a local person that they're actually showcasing. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. You're live. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good evening, Sabrina, and everyone out there listening.
Good evening.
I part of my job, my work is Facebook and other social media, and it's kind of odd how young people, when I say young, I mean like under 40, romanticize our past. And like my parents, they were dirt poor. My mother had to drop out of school when she was 10 to twist rope and clean yards. And then my father hit pay dirt and he got a job with National Bulk Carrier and stuff like that. But my mother was a landowner when she was 17.
Oh, wow.
We were homeowners. I should say they were homeowners in New York City, which is not a very cheap place to live. When they were, I think she was 24. They had something called work ethic. They had something called humility. A lot of these qualities have long been gone. Long been gone. I went to a particular bank the other day about something, and he said, almost everybody that comes in here, it's for a car, especially if it's a male, it's either here for a certain kind of car or a certain size boat. Maybe having BMW in your car means something to people here, but it means nothing to me. And I have friends who are worth well over $100 million. They don't even have a cell phone.
You see?
And the music that one of them used to own McDonald's restaurants in the United States, right, which is a very expensive franchise to own. He had 7,000 of them. Anyway, what I'm saying is, substance and humility and stuff like that are long gone to a logo called Mercedes or BMW. It means nothing to me.
Right.
My mom, I could buy 10 of them, but I drive a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla. It works fine for me, gets me around, good on gas. That's fine.
You think social media has a lot of pressure, as you alluded to, that it's all about this hype. It's like we're glorifying these brand memes, that's exactly what it is, and not realizing that it's not, that doesn't define you.
Well, I like I said, social media is a part of my line of work, and it's designed to be addictive. It is owned by a very big company that is pushing their agenda. Sex always sells. And one person said nothing can compare to Donald Trump. He pees in a golden toilet. I've met Donald Trump many times, and I used to live on a hill. The higher up the hill you go, the more expensive the homes were. So me and my ex-wife, we were kind of like the middle of the hill, and Donald Trump's father owned the top of the hill. And when he died, he left that land to Donald Trump, and he knocked down all those beautiful turn-of-the-century homes.
Oh, wow.
And put up condos. And everybody on that hill, it's called Grimes Hill, their homes depreciated 30 to 40% overnight. He could care less. You know, I've met many people in this political thing. You know, it's not that I'm so smart or whatever. It's just where I lived for 40 years. I lived in New York City. Everybody either lives or wants to live, or wants to be play Madison Square Garden if you're a musician, or Giant Stadium. You know, I've seen them all. You know, so one little get together here at what's it called, Dark Place with 3,000 people. My God, can you believe that? and watch these wannabe hoodlums and wannabe this and wannabe that. I mean, I've watched people, and this is not to brag, but you know, I've been around in some dangerous places and some dangerous people. I've been all over the world. I've never been robbed till I came to the Cayman Islands, and it was my own cousin. Have a lovely night.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's a first-time caller. Thank you for sharing that with us. And it's profound. He did a mic drop, but it gives you reason to think. I didn't get that he was talking at. I didn't get that he was talking down. That was facts. Is it something into us with a small island that we have our eyes focused on the wrong things? I know that there's a spin-off to this that we've heard a lot of people are saying, even when they go into the banks and they want to get a loan or a mortgage for a piece of land or their own property, that the banks are quicker to actually approve a loan for a car or a boat. But again, do you give in? Do we give up too quickly? Or, as the caller alluded to, they're in the space for addiction to highlight certain things. How can we instill certain things in our future that they don't fall trap to certain things? And just look at the bigger picture. It doesn't have to be about the hype. If I'm in a meeting or I've been invited, let's say, to a table that not many people will actually get invited to because I bring a certain expertise in a specific topic or field or area. You really think they give two shakes of a duck's tail whether or not I'm wearing a Rolex, whether or not I was dropped off by public transport, whether or not I came in there in a Ferrari or Bugatti? No, they don't give two diddly squats. I have value with what I bring to the table. Hence, I got the invitation. How I live, where I live, is irrelevant to why I was invited. And I feel that, to add a little bit more onto what the caller was saying, in the event that anyone may have missed it, they lived all over the world and they were never robbed until they came here by their own family. That's profound. In case you missed it, is it something because of us having our priorities not straight or not right? But there's a reason why I gave the example of when you're invited at certain tables, you're not invited because of the piece that you have on your wrist, what you drive. It's what you bring to the table is why you're there. And I feel the more we can instill this and show this in our people, that maybe it's good to have a little if you wanted to, if you feel it. You earn a Rolex or a Breitling or whatever it is, if you want to do that, but that is not what life is about. It's the simple things. And what you actually glorify doesn't really change how you're perceived either. So, caller, I thank you for your contribution. That was profound for those who got the message. But it would be interesting for other feedback to get on this. Yeah. See? Marketing 101. Marketing 101. Keith says, rich people do not live better than the average person does. They only spend more. You think? Or spend more how, Keith? I think they're into investments. Spending more on what? I think they actually are watching the markets more than the average person. When you're out there buying those high-end products, at the end of the day, they're actually just working. They make their monies work for them instead of working for the money. And I think that's where we got it wrong. And it's a certain tier of us that just got it wrong. And these are not the things that we actually teach in school. And it goes right back to this comment, Marketing 101. By the way, there's only $75 in my wallet, but that can't buy me a lot of 345. But that can buy a lot of 345 beer. If that's what you want to spend your $75 on and that makes you feel better, kudos to you. As long as your utilities are paid, your bills, and you want to do that, that's up to you. That may be what you got in your wallet. But what's on the card? Interesting. Live happy. I would say that Caymanians understand life. And it's not all about work. We don't need to climb the corporate ladder to live in paradise. We were born in paradise. But not everybody is feeling that way. Live happy, I must say. Don gives an amen. I don't know to what part of that you give that amen to, but we're definitely acknowledging it. Jim says, and a lot of that is missing. What an individual brings to the table shows yourself for who you are. Remove the mask and be authentic. May not have a big circle of friends, but I prefer my smaller circle for more than popularity. Jim, so true. That corner, my dear, is usually the loneliest corners. And when you're actually slaying it and making life, building your own portfolio, you get more done. But I can assure you, Jim, I agree. That corner is a lonely one. Not many can deal with that environment either. Connie says, I could. Did that twice during Gilbert in Jamaica. And after Hurricane Ivan here, use a pit bottle, no water to shower and cook outside. Oh, I think you're referring, Connie, to an earlier comment. All right. Yeah, well, I think we all had to, I could be honest with you, some felt it more after Ivan than others, to be honest, because we still had infrastructure that was pretty strong. We did very well after Ivan, I must say, despite some properties being demolished. For the most part, if you were to look at it from a statistical standpoint, I would say for the type of damage during that time with what our building codes were at that time, now they have even improved even more. I think Cayman Islands fared well. I think we did very well for being a flat jurisdiction. Whether or not I would want to live through something like that again, no. And I'm hoping that we never face anything like that again, but it's inevitable with what we're seeing happening. But I'm hoping that, with the legislations and planning laws that are put in place, that, we would never have to go through that again, that we would have to be brought to our knees. That, though, calmly humbled a lot of people. I can tell you that right now. Until they got their generators, And then lights came back. And then some of them just went straight back to who they were. But yeah, thank you. The phone lines are wide open. We got approximately 10 minutes left to go for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. 345-936-8255 is the number to call should you want to weigh in. Denver says, I may be wrong, but I believe that caller was set up in business by the man he spoke of and a couple of Caymanians. And he tried to invest more in Cayman, but was shut down. Oh, really? I just thought what he said was profound. There we go. Thank him for calling in. Got you going. That's what we love about this space. I love the mic drop style, though. Say it, drop, go, leave you food for thought. Sabrina proved she was listening. She provided some additional context, even though it may have come from a different perspective. It's still aligned at the end of the day. Jim says, not lonely here, not in the least. Being comfortable with your own company is part of looking behind you and saying, I've made it. And Jim, the best pat on the back is the one you give yourself. Sometimes you don't even understand it, but it's preparing you for something bigger, brighter, and better. You just don't understand it all the time in the now, but trust me, it's preparing you for what's bigger, better, and brighter. Andrew says, love people and use money, not love money and use people. The real value are people. Use Ivan, hurricane, and COVID-19. We were reminded of what matters most, and that's each other. Let me tell you something, Andrew. You are so right. You know how much people were just so happy to say between X amount of time and this amount of time, you could go out and you can exercise and you can walk. I've never seen more people exercising in all of my life. Never. Because they were actually happy that they were given that permission. And I know this could bring up another conversation. They were given that permission to go outside. But we're just looking at it, keep it in context to this. But yes, Andrew, thank you for sharing that. I slept out in a wet sofa because everything got flooded out. Mosquitoes almost ate me alive. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. That must have humbled you, didn't it? And kind of make you appreciate life and see it totally different too, huh, Pawnee? Oh, wow. Even in Ivan, I can't tell you I went through that. No. Of course, during the height of the storm, everybody went through something. That was the first time we were experiencing that. And I think I shared my story here. 16 hours under a stairwell, sitting on a washing machine with my youngest son on my lap. Yeah, that was my experience. And you could see the water coming in. The roof was not compromised or anything like that, like some people. But yeah, it definitely humbled me and makes me respect Mother Nature even more. Live Happy say, do the children still play the sting hand game? Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I avoided that one, Live Happy. Oh my God, you're taking me back. Yeah, I don't know if they still play that. A lot of those games are not played anymore. I remember my days as a representative when we were doing Easter activities. Beanbag race, musical chairs, red light, green light, Simon Says, on the river, on the bank, and all that. You know, those things were what we were bringing back. And it's amazing how those kids, with instructions, that they enjoyed that. And I was like, wow. But you know what was most fascinating is the parents actually participating in some of those older games. That was what, and I must say it wasn't hard to get them into it, because that obviously brought back a lot of childhood memories for a lot of the parents that accompanied those kids. Yeah, so it's interesting, but I don't know if they play those games anymore. Damian Henry said, a mine is a terrible thing to waste. It is not what you own, drive, or where you live. It's what you can give back for the betterment of our society, for a safer and peaceful world. So true. You're quite right. Trust me, Auntie. OMG. Yes. Correction. I do. Yeah. String the game. Between your fingers. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember. I don't know. I don't know if they play it anymore. And yeah, and you do this and yeah. I don't know if they play it anymore. Not even Chinese skip, where you used to do the elastic and used to go over and used to crisscross and you can, yeah. Oh Christ, I couldn't do that. Now I wouldn't have no meniscus. But I remember those days. Yes, yes, yes. Andrew says you should have a show based on experience of Hurricane Ivan with some guests. My love, I'm willing to have any show on anything. The last part is the problem. The guests, as we recommend, as you recommended, is the difficulty. That's the challenge. Not a lot of people want to actually be like that. And I guess, but we can try it. I'll put some feelers out. I will definitely put some feelers out to see. Because as hurricane season approaches, I was seeing some predictions as well from the weatherman today in regards of the sea temperatures. And we all know how that fuels the strength of hurricanes and that sort of stuff. So, but let's see, it would be good because it will surprise you, Andrew, how the experiences for those who were actually here on island differ. One part of the island to the next. I mean, Northside can't say that they went through what certain parts of East End. We know for sure the difference in Bodden Town as well. And then you have certain parts of Central Georgetown can't say that they were worse or better off than some of those who were in the South Sound area. And it all depends on what part of South Sound too. You could probably speak to people in South Sound and they will all give you different experiences based on where they were located. Some because of seawater and storm surge, and others just from flooding that could be both sea and rain. So it will be interesting. Andrew, that's good because it would be very interesting to see the difference in experiences that we all had, yet all three islands, Grand Cayman especially, was impacted by the same one tropical system. So it is quite interesting. Chinese Skip Tartarian says, don't try that now. You might, oh Lord, tell me about it. You know what comes back to mind? You say that in school, between middle school, those days we had middle school and then we had high school. There was a good friend of mine, and I'm going to call her name, from West Bay. Primary, we were friends. Her name is Eula E. Banks. Man, Eula was bad. Eula was bad on Chinese Skip. I mean, she was just light as a feather when it comes to that. And, but she was rough. Oh, God, Eula was rough. Eula hasn't changed. I'm a little friend. I go way back. But I could see her right now doing that. And she was so light on her feet. Of course, other areas within the middle school but more in middle school. I must say, as a class of 1990, I saw more of those being played in middle school back in that day. I didn't see much of it in high school, but more in middle school, I could see a lot of that. And Eula comes back to mind like yesterday. So it was interesting. And Darlene, you're here too. I think you would remember. You would remember those days of playing that. Primary school too, a little bit, but more so in middle school was where we did that Chinese Skip. That was more. I didn't do it then, and I sure as heck ain't gonna do it now. But yeah, for more reasons than one. I didn't do it then I could do it now. But yeah, I can see Tartaria brought back some memories to you. You are definitely playing your hand here. But, before we end up today, I just want to acknowledge something really important here, because even though we're straying a little bit off of what's traditional here, we've gone back to the point that we're a diverse society, right? And we do have a huge Asian society here. And today marks the start of the Lunar New Year. And it's the year of the horse. And Cayman, as we know, and I've said it here, that it is a diverse community. The Chinese culture, the horse represent energy, independence, confidence, and a forward movement. And it's also a year associated with action, with getting things done, with boldness and momentum. And honestly, Cayman, that feels fitting for us too, whether or not you're into this, because we're maybe small in actual size, but we have huge ambitions and we're always moving, we're always adapting, and we're always galloping forward. So to everyone who is celebrating this and to all of our Asian friends and family out there, happy to you as you celebrate this Lunar New Year. And, I know there are lots of people who are going to be doing it with family gatherings. They are actually having a lot of traditional meals and their own rituals in their own personal space. And, at the end of the day, these qualities, when you look at what their horse symbolizes, those qualities that resonates with Cayman's very own spirit. Even if you don't celebrate it, it's a reminder that the fact still remains we have over 130 nationalities here. We're small, but in whatever fact, we one more. Okay, I can take 2 messages. Oh, okay, we got them. We're actually global as well. One WhatsApp. Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for mentioning the Lunar New Year, Sabrina, as part of the Asian community here. It means a lot. Happy Year of the Horse. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Okay, another one. Wow, they're coming in. Didn't realize. I love that you include the Year of the Horse. Cayman is small, but we have people from everywhere. That's our strength. You're more than welcome. More than welcome. At 6:57. Oops, one more. Oh, they're coming in. Sabrina, I looked it up. The horse is about confidence and action. Cayman needs that energy right now. Year of the Horse energy. The horse is about confidence and action. Well, I can say, some says it's action. Confidence, yeah, to a degree. But balance is what we're also looking for too. Yep. Let's go back to what Denver is saying. No, kids no longer play any of those old games. We play marbles, hopscotch, skipping, rope, have wheelies, yeah, yo-yos. As soon as they can hold an iPad, it's in their hands, and never really get outside to play with the neighbors' kids. That's true. That's true. Marbles and gigs. I think gigs are banned now, right? Gigs. I don't think you can have gigs anymore. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. Winding down. If most of us try to do any of those things, we have slip disc and back pain. Andrew, if your girl decides she can even try wash her own car, she done for 2 days. Right now, my left shoulder is killing me. I won't tell you what I was doing, though. That stays right here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. It's a wrap for today's show. I just want to say thank you all for putting up with me. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for sharing. And for the caller, thank you for calling as well. And also, thank you for which one that was, Keith? Sabrina, you didn't read mine. I was before Keith. Which one that was? Yes, I read one from you. Hold on. Keith. What was yours? 666. Let's see if we can find it. Don't want to leave nobody out. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. Good evening, Sabrina. Growing plants are therapeutic, and especially growing vegetables are good for your health. I've started a greenhouse and it's looking really. Congratulations. So sorry about that, my sweet. So thank you for sharing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes when the messages come in like that, and I was getting WhatsApp as well, I made not intentionally, but sometimes I do miss it, not intentionally. So yes. Andrew, we honor all those people. Culture are here. My family are Chinese in Jamaica, and our all diverse society. Yes. Okay. A gig ever drop on your yeah, oh my god, no. I heard it hurt though. I don't ever want to do that. Yeah, gigs are banned. I think so. It's something with gigs. It's something, and I know slingshots. Slingshots for sure is thing. Yeah. Jim, you are more than welcome. Yes, we have come to the end of today's show. So whatever tomorrow looks like for each and every one of you, whether it's ashes on your forehead, fritters in your hand, salt on your skin, or peace in your home, I hope it's meaningful. I hope it's yours. I hope that you take the moment to remember who we are as people, where we come from, and how far we've come. It has been my pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks, speaking the truth, holding the space, and always taking Cayman and taking Cayman to a different level and talking Cayman about us. Please be safe, whatever you so choose to do. And to all of our persons on the front lines, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you do. Thank you for your service. God bless. Love you all lots. Good night. And until Thursday, take care.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.